Derek's going to be at the Utah Music Awards in about 18 days. And it's kind of important for you guys to talk to a guy like Derek. But first off, Derek, tell us a little bit about your musical background.
Yeah, so I'm a drummer by trade, and spent the past, prior to law school, about 15 years or so touring in various rock and punk rock bands. One of my punk rock bands, our high time was probably between 2004 and 2007. We were touring, we were recording, we were getting indie deals, we were getting national and international distribution. I handled all the booking, the promotion myself, all the contract work, which, when you're trying to concentrate on your craft and also the business side, it becomes, pretty daunting. And I just became more and more frustrated with the legal side of the music industry, or lack of knowledge, I guess, that I had at the time. And, in true punk rock spirit, true do-it-yourself ethic, rather than hire an attorney, I decided to just go ahead and go to law school and learn it myself.
So that's not something you get from a do-it-yourself law book from, Amazon?
No, because those will be very, very broad, very general education. Everyone's circumstances are different, so same can be true of contracts that are taken off the internet.
Okay, so now what kind of, people are going to ask this right off the bat, what kind of success have you had as a musician applying this knowledge that you've gained over the years? Has it been something that's been beneficial to you in your musician life? Well,
and it's hard to be a musician and an attorney. The legal field is a jealous mistress. So to be honest, my music career, it's more of a hobby now. I still jam out every week. We still play shows. But yeah, my career as a musician is done. And now my focus is helping musicians attain their goals based on the experience that I had, the mistakes that I made, and also the legal knowledge that I've now acquired.
Now this is a good point to bring up. So you're here to help the musicians actually make this like a full-time gig, I'm assuming.
Yes.
That's the goal?
Yeah.
So how does this all work? Say I'm a musician. I'm coming to the Utah Music Awards, and you have a booth there. You have a table there.
Yes, I do.
And I come up and say, "Hi, I'm Warren. I'm a really awesome musician. Give me money." Is that how it works?
No. That's not how it works. It's a lot of work. And it's interesting, in just the past 10 years since I was performing and touring, how much the industry has changed. And it's this change has had both positive and negative consequences for musicians. On the positive side, musicians have, nearly endless opportunities to reach their fans, reach new fans, and to generate revenue, right? Whereas before, your revenue streams were touring, merchandise, record sales, music publishing. And now, with streaming services, there's so many more ways to generate revenue, and to generate revenue independent of major labels and major publishers. But it takes a real thorough knowledge of kind of the legal and business side, especially with regard to music publishing, which is often a complete mystery to musicians. And and it's unfortunate that that's the case, because it's the sweetest piece of the pie, really.
Right.
And without the knowledge of how to license and exploit your music publishing rights, it's difficult to make money in this day and age. And it's even easier to sign away those publishing rights because, as I said, there are negative consequences. Major labels and major publishers, they're all cinching their belts because they're not making money, well, labels anyway, from selling records. So, labels, they're offering smaller deals, and they're implementing, these 360 deals where instead of just taking their cut of the record sales, they're now taking a cut of your touring revenue, your merchandising revenue, your publishing rights, which, 10 years ago wasn't the norm. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm a new band. I've been out for maybe, say, 6 months to a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to learn how to navigate some of these avenues you were talking about. Say I want to be on, my goal is to be on Pandora.
Right.
Or Spotify.
Right.
Or Songify, whatever it is. And, or I want, that's just where I want to be. I want to be in that space. Is that something you can navigate?
Absolutely. I can walk artists from beginning to end, before they even set foot onto the stage or the recording studio, to getting their entity set up, to affiliating with ASCAP and BMI and these other, public or performance rights societies, so that, once they do get on to Pandora, and I can walk them through the process of that as well, they can ensure that their royalties are being tracked and paid out appropriately.
Okay, so now let's talk about another avenue. We know how the royalties will come in just because of the streamings, and some people make a pretty good living doing that. Some people not so much. But I was talking to Jason Lyle Black. Hey, Jason, by the way, if you're watching, hey. And he was talking about how he's actually seen a really good return, but his is all instrumental.
Right.
So I guess not all music is the same on like Pandora, Spotify, as well as they pay out. But there's other avenues that actually pay out. What are some other avenues other than being on Pandora or on Google Play that musicians don't usually think of to generate revenue because they're so busy just trying to get that next gig?
YouTube is a great resource, monetizing your videos on YouTube. And really the sky's the limit as long as you're creative. What it comes down to is, record sales are no longer the bread and butter of making money. And even touring, it's diminished quite a bit. So it comes down to being really creative and being able to produce a product that people will still pay for, which, streaming has kind of taken the place of ownership of physical albums, and the consuming public doesn't really care about that anymore. But you can get really creative in providing a product that your fans will still be willing to purchase in ways you can still generate revenue. Whether that be, guitar teaching, if you're a guitar player, and kind of offering your services, in an interactive way with your fans. Whether it's creating, custom songs for people, whether it's, creating a package of your music in such a way, that people will still purchase it. And that's in addition to all the streaming services, the internet radio, in which you can start to generate this passive income.
Right. Now, there's another avenue that I've heard of, because I work more in the film space. So say a musician's ready to take that step and say, hey, I found this producer that really likes my music, but they want to commission something. It's something I haven't already written. Are you able to work out those contracts with filmmakers and musicians as well? Yes,
absolutely. I can work out licensing deals. Music licensing is a huge source of revenue for musicians, especially in this day and age of all these content-driven businesses and new media, film, television, video games, everywhere people are generating content that is really more effective with the addition of music. And so there are all these content creators that are searching for musicians to license their music to add to their own creative works.
So when someone's coming up to the Utah Music Awards and they see you for the first time, what should they have with them? Should they have samples of their music? Should they say, here's every CD I've ever made, listen to it all, and then make me $1 million? What should they do?
I love hearing demos. If they've got demos handy, bring them to me. One of the things that I really look forward to when working with artists that I can be, really jazzed about their music. It just makes the whole relationship work a lot better. Also, things to come prepared with are, where are you at in your music career? Who are you collaborating with? What agreements are in place already with those collaborators, if any? Also very important to have those agreements in place. Whether or not, if they have actually recorded and released anything, whether it be audio or videos or otherwise, just so they can give me a real good sense of where they are in their career, what their goals are, and I can help them from there.
Well, that's fair enough right there. So you're going to be there at the Utah Music Awards on September 17th. Now, here's the thing. Even if you don't want to come to the show, you should still come and meet with Derek, right?
Yes.
So he's going to be out in the lobby area. He has a table there, and he wants to meet with anybody who's a musician that really wants to take their business to the next level, right?
Yeah.
And again, this is all about monetizing it. If you're all about the artistry, is this really something that's going to help to come talk to a music attorney?
No, if you're content, playing for beer money, playing for, whatever, you probably don't need my services. I think that's great. Music is art, and I appreciate musicians that do that. But you're probably not going to be too worried about the business and legal side of it. But if you are looking to kind of, become a professional musician and make this a full-time job and be able to, pay your rent with it, then yeah, certainly I can help artists develop that and reach their goals.
Okay. There is one other thing that's big that musicians always want to do, and that's booking those concert gigs, right? Those
Right.
live shows are huge. They build the audience, they build their reputation. But a lot of that, even getting the bookings, are tricky. Do you have relationships already established over the years that can help musicians get into venues to perform?
I do have relationships with venues both in Salt Lake and Utah County. And if musicians are having troubles either getting those gigs or making those connections, I can certainly help.
Awesome. Okay, guys, here is his logo one more time. It's the Utah Music Attorney. He's going to be at the Utah Film Award, Utah Music Awards. Yeah, Film Awards was a while ago. Utah Music Awards on September 17th at the Covey Center in Provo, Utah. And you guys want to definitely take a look at that. And guys, this is a live stream video. And I can't tell for beans if anyone's able to see it or not because we're working on such a choppy internet. This is our first time doing this thing.
I hope it worked. I said a lot of things.
I saw things and I saw things moving around and hopefully it all worked out. I just don't know, but hopefully you guys, if you are able to watch it and you were able to get some good information out of this, share the video with other people and say, hey, go to theutahmusicawards.com to buy tickets to the show and just enjoy the whole experience of getting into the music scene here, learning more about the business side, which is honestly the money side.
Yep.
And other than that, guys, I think that'll do it for us.
All right.
Meet Derek at the show.
See you there.
Talk to you later.